Thanks to Danny Bate for pointing out to me last year that a new runic find has been made in the Czech Republic. Now, it's not unusual for runes to be found in Eastern Europe from the ancient or early medieval world, but this one, dated to around 600 AD CE, is unusual because it seems to be from a Slavic cultural context. This looks like an area where Germanic-speaking peoples have left, and Slavic-speaking people, based on the archaeological remains associated with this find, have moved in. So, there's an argument here that maybe Slavs are picking up runes too, and occasionally writing in them before the adoption of the alphabets that we associate with the Slavic speaking peoples later, so the Glagolitic and then Cyrillic alphabets and Roman alphabet and, for example, Czech Republic, Poland, etc. Now, this inscription is just a bit of cow bone. It's incomplete. Probably the inscription itself is incomplete. All it says is Tebendo, pretty much, which is part of the last eighth of the Elder Futhark rune alphabet. It's missing the letters that stand for L and for Ing. So what it looks like is probably somebody was writing out the Elder Futhark alphabet. Often inscriptions involve someone writing out the entire alphabet, whether an elder or younger Futhark. And so that doesn't allow us to establish for sure what the language of the, what language was spoken by the person who wrote this. It could be, again, that Slavs are actually picking up runes. There's a monk, Crawford, who says around this time that he knows of Slavs, quote, making marks on bone or wood, I think is what he says. And that might imply that they're writing in runes, again, before they adopt alphabets that we later historically associate with them. Or, of course, if this really is a Slavic-speaking culture, it could be a Germanic prisoner or someone who's married into the culture who's writing this. You just never know from an isolated monument like this, especially something that doesn't even really have words on it per se, but a very interesting little hint. And as I understand it, the site this was found at may have further artifacts that haven't been explored. There's some large trees that I think have prevented the excavation from being completed. So hopefully we'll learn a little bit more about this. I'll put a link to the article in the video description and a pinned comment if this posts when I'm close to a computer. And for now, thanks again to Danny Bate for pointing that out to me. And from beautiful Colorado, I'm wishing everybody all the best.